Episode 179. Here's the evidence. Don't try to deny it. Serena nodded with a polite smile. The middle-aged man nodded at her, quickly looked away, and followed the fat man. "You know him?" Jake looked down at her and asked. "No, but he looks familiar."
"Right. He's a major general in the army. His name is Charles Wrong, better known as Charlie Wrong."
"Oh, I've never heard of him. Carson Robinson is the only major general that I know of." Jake's look softened. With a poker face, he teased.
"That's ill-informed of you."
"It's only normal that I don't know who he is. I'm not in that circle," Serena said matter-of-factly. The two of them had walked out of the restaurant as they spoke. They had no idea that Charlie Wrong, who had brushed past them, was still gazing at Serena's back. When they walked far, he turned back, feeling suffocated. She looked so much like her, but she was Travis Green's daughter.
"Mr. Wrong, the room is ready. Follow me, please." "Okay."
After stealing that classified document from Jake's computer, Michael Cox then learned the real strength of the Robinson Group. It was stronger than what he had expected, but the difference was not huge. After learning what his opponent was truly like, Michael, who had been nervous because of Jake's tactile bluffing for years, became relaxed. He suddenly understood why Liam Costco had chosen the Cox Group, rather than the Robinson Group for the deal. The Costco Group must have learned about the Robinson's strength a while ago. Since the two most leading companies in the market did not have too much difference, of course Liam Costco would prefer the other brand, which was the Cox's. After signing the contract, Michael was so happy that he gave bonuses to all his staff. That day was filled with joy for all the employees of the Cox Group. Hearing about the update on Michael's firm, Jake commanded,
"Execute the plan."
Although his voice was calm, Miranda felt like this man was the most dangerous man that she had ever seen. "Yes." After joy came sadness. Less than 3 days after the bonus was received, the Cox Group got a shocking message. The first batch of the materials imported from Germany had been seized at customs, under suspicions that toxic chemicals were hidden among them. As the deadline approached, the factory still could not start the manufacturing because of the lack of raw materials. This caused panic in the Cox Group, and Michael Cox was trying desperately to use all his connection to get out of this mess. At that very time, Mrs. Cox ran into the company and cried, "I found our daughter! I found her!" Michael Cox should have been happy, but his wife's loud voice made his headache worse. Holding his head, he asked impatiently,
"You found her? Where is she?"
"In Jake's neighborhood, the house behind his home. He owns that place as well. Lila is right there."
"Really?"
Michael sat straight and became emotional.
"How did you find out?"
"The private investigators that you had recorded a video. Since I couldn't hear Jake talking, I found someone who knew how to read lips. He said danger is the best remedy of danger. He said that to Serena himself." Michael's eyes lit up and stood up excitedly.
"Hurry! We will get people to find her."
"No, I want Jake to go to prison. Now we have all the evidence. I don't believe he could deny it. The Robinson family is nothing. Jake has to be locked up." When Serena woke up in the morning, Jake had left the bed. She stretched and yawned. After she washed, she went downstairs, and Nanny Harper had already prepared her breakfast. Jake walked into the house wearing something casual. It looked like he was in a good mood. Eating her breakfast, she looked at him and asked, "Where did you go?"
"To the back."
He washed his hands and sat down opposite her. Taking a sip of milk from his glass, he said,
I will take you to see a great show later.
Which show?
Breakfast first.
If he thought the show was great, it definitely was. She quickly finished her sandwich and milk and asked impatiently, I have finished. Where's the show? He chewed his food slowly and wiped away the milk on the corner of his wife's lips.
Take your time. Give it 2 more minutes.
She waited patiently. After drinking the last bit of his milk, he checked his watch and said,
All right, let's go.
He took her to the back of their house, where Lila Cox was supposedly kept. Before they approached, they saw 2 police cars and 2 luxury cars parked at the gate. Serena stared, her eyes wide. Her heart in her throat, she squeezed Jake's hand and asked, What should we do? Are they going to find out about it? Why would they come to this place?
No worries. This is part of the plan.
He rubbed her hair.
Don't look suspicious, and be calm.
She felt a bit scared, looking at him nervously. Seeing her look, he smiled and walked up with an arm around her shoulders. A policeman saw him coming close, looked down at his file and said,
You're Jake Robinson? Yes. We suspect that you have something to do with a kidnapping case. This is the warrant.
He glanced at it and arched an eyebrow.
So? Did you find anything?
The policeman did not expect him to be so calm. Gazing at him, he said,
The search is still ongoing. If any incriminating evidence is found, you will face charges.
After he said that, several policemen came out of the house, followed by Lila's parents.
Officer, no one's there.
Mrs. Cox burst into tears when she saw Jake and Serena.
Jake, you cruel man! Where did you hide my daughter? Give her back to me!
Then she threw herself at him. He protected Serena and walked back, gazing at Mrs. Cox coldly. Seeing that, the police officers quickly stopped Mrs. Cox from assaulting Jake.
Where did you hide my daughter? Give her back to me!
She cried hysterically like a crazy woman. Michael Cox felt bad for his wife's helplessness and looked at Jake and said gloomily,
Jake, please. If you have kept Lila, please give her back to us. Uncle Michael, I don't think I did you any wrong. Without any evidence, why do you keep claiming that I have kidnapped your daughter? Of course we have evidence! I do!
Mrs. Cox wriggled free and took out her phone, showing everyone the video taken by the private investigators. In the video, Jake's face was clear and so were his lips. However, Serena's face was not in the frame. With a poker face, Jake sneered at the video coldly. A bit frightened, Mrs. Cox cursed.
What the hell did you laugh? Here's the evidence! Don't try to deny it.